Hi folks, it's Evo here from Thundermist Lure Company, and I'd just like to take a minute here and just show you how quick and easy it is to fillet a sunfish. Okay, so I have a small bluegill here, and what I want to do first of all is I'm going to keep the skin on. So I'm going to just take a minute here and remove the scales. Now this is the old-fashioned way, and I know a lot of people go for sunfish and they catch them by the hundreds, and when you do that you can buy some descalers that actually are like a tumbler, and they'll do a nice job descaling your fish. But you can see this knife has a serrated kind of edge here, which is specifically designed to descale. So I'll use that. It's a little messy because you're, of course, if you've never descaled, you've got to go against the grain of the fish, as I'm doing here. If I tried to go this way, it wouldn't do anything. So you always have to go against the grain of the fish. There we go. Okay, with that done, I'm going to get a sharper knife here, and I'm just going to cut just around the gill cover here like that. Just make an incision, and then do the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to take my knife, and a sharp knife works best, and just run it just along the top of the backbone here, along the top fin, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to take my knife and just run it just along the back side of that sunfish, just like that. Now with the fish in this position, just take your knife, and the bone structure is the same as a bass. There's a single bone right along here, and then the rib cage comes along like so. So what I'm going to do is just with my knife run it just along the edge of that bone, and now I can, when I get around the rib cage, what you can do, you can probably hear that. Just like that. You get around the rib cage, you can poke it through, and then quite simply just bring it over on the other side. Now I'm going to flip the fish over, and as you know, if you've seen me clean fish before, I like to keep the fillet on the other side as it helps balance the fish. And now I'm doing the same thing on this side, and again I'm right to the ribs, so I'm going to poke it just on the other side of the rib cage and poke it through. Now very simply I'm going to continue cutting right along the edge of that rib cage, just like so, right down. Okay, there we go. It's one boneless fillet. And now on the other side I'm just going to do the same thing. And you can see here how it's one single bone. You can see that. And there's the rib cage there. So there's not a lot of meat around the rib cage, I will tell you that. So I'm just going to go kind of around the rib cage there. There we go. Now, because I removed the skin, because I removed the scales, this is ready for the frying pan. You don't need to do anything else there, except just give them a rinse, wash them up, and they'll be ready for the frying pan. And I got to tell you, when it comes to tastiness, I know I love my walleye, I love my saltwater fish and all that, but there's something about panfish, and especially sunfish. They've got a bit of a sweetness to them, and they're absolutely delicious. So I'd like to thank you for tuning in, folks, to today's episode. If you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe. The button is probably right here. We've got a lot more fish catching action coming your way. So as I say, as always, until next time, good luck and good fishing.